We got married in 1981, April of 1981, and I was working in retail, sporting goods, managing a sporting goods store. I was going to work my way up, and I always told her, this next promotion, we'll get it, you know, just hang on. No, that's the great lie. There is the next move meant more responsibility, but all I saw was more dollars.
He came from, you know, his mom, born in Mexico, worked 2 jobs.
At the age of 5, my dad left, so it's just kind of, it was tough.
So then when we married, I knew that mealtime was going to be very important to us. And before we had our children, I was right there beside him working retail. But it was when we started having kids that I was at home and noticed, you know, the big void of him not being there.
And as you know, the greatest balancing act for every man is to figure out how to do work and home and make them both work well together. And I wasn't doing well. If I worked till a 6 o'clock shift, that was when I was supposed to get off. Maybe I came home at 7. And then if I closed the store, which was 9 o'clock, it was 10.
That's just too late to feed a family. I started to feel jealous. You know, there was a little bit of jealousy there. It's like, what's so attractive about work? Why can't you come home and be with me?
One of my lines was, hey, it's a man's world. You got to just understand that. So I would come home late, and she would heat up my dinner, and we'd have discussions, and it would get ugly. And one night, she wasn't talking, and I knew something was wrong, and I said, we're not going to have this conversation again. And she goes, no, we're not. But I am going to talk to our pastor tomorrow. For us, as a young Christian couple, attending church on Sunday regularly meant that I was in the faith and doing my job.
I remember thinking that our pastor needs to know. He needs to know, because I need help. The Lord just kept prodding me not to let that drop. And I was like, are you sure? I just don't want to go there again. And so I just said, yeah, I'm going to the pastor. I'm going to tell Tom. I
stayed up all night. I didn't even go to sleep. I sat in my chair and talked to God and thought, I better figure this thing out. We're at breaking point. Something's got to give. What little I knew about talking to God, I did. And you know, it's one of those moments in your life when God goes, you're the one that needs a change.
Thinking back to that time, I think it was just so pivotal. Had I not confronted him and gone to the pastor, absolutely beyond a shadow of a doubt, we'd be divorced today. There's no possible way that we would have stayed together. Our family would be destroyed.
I kind of knew this day was coming a little bit, and it was over time that God used her to show me that was sin in my life and I needed to change. In the morning when she got up, I said, why don't you come over here and sit down. So she sat next to me and I said, I've got a game plan. I remember thinking, this is going to take a lot of courage. I'm going to go to my supervisors. I said, I'm going to get Sundays off. I know both my assistants would like to rotate Sundays, and I gave him a plan, and he bought it. So I was afraid. I was definitely afraid. But what was cool is God honored that, and that was probably my courageous moment, is standing before my bosses and saying, I need to dial it back. We knew what we wanted to do. It was just getting there that was hard. We knew the ground we wanted to make up, and we knew we wanted to break that chain, and we were going to do things differently.